We all come from somewhere, seeking something we hold in our hearts. The promise of possibility. The hope for a future our children can dream, then achieve. Here, in the land between two oceans, families come seeking a brighter tomorrow. They come for jobs and security, education and opportunity. They come to escape hardships. They come to give their kids chances they didn't have. They come to live. For more than 40 years, Bowling Green, Kentucky has been an unlikely but no less welcoming light for newcomers. Immigrants and refugees from more than 30 countries make their home here. The new residents have made Bowling Green a vibrant small city in western Kentucky, the envy of its peers thanks to rich diversity and a thriving economic landscape. That success leads others to wonder, could the model work in other parts of the Midwest? Could it work 4 hours north of Bowling Green in Muncie, Indiana?
Takes a lot of courage to leave your country and come to America.
The boys could have a different way to study, different schools, a different country, a different language, and learn more. We are looking for the experience, have something new. Where we live or used to live in Mexico, we were like we were happy there and it was perfect. I got a good job. I had a good job there. But I say probably it's gonna be a good thing for our girls to move over here and just try and learn another language, another culture. We know here there is a lot of people from around the world. They're gonna have more to know about many different cultures.
It's estimated that less than 3% of Muncie's population was born outside of the United States. The city has recently begun to change that with an initiative to rehome Afghan refugees and by welcoming immigrants like the Camargos from Brazil and the Robles family from Mexico.
So you're going to put a check mark next to the words you know.
Access to multilingual education is one of the key draws.
We want to be extremely welcoming to the families that are coming here. So we've worked really hard to make that first experience very positive experience with the families.
Your turn?
We've done a great job of recruiting teachers who speak a variety of languages.
There's one, plus there's ones.
That will be able to work with their students, build those relationships, and we're finding that the families have so much trust with Muncie Community Schools.
Okay, what's the sound?
But trustworthy schools are only one part of what's needed for families to want to make Muncie their home. City officials like Mayor Dan Ridenour know good jobs and safe housing is equally important if the city hopes to attract families that will build the community's future. Moving it from its historic position as an industrial hub to a city that can change and grow into the challenges and opportunities of 21st century living. It's what led Ridenour to look at what solutions other similarly sized cities like Bowling Green are using not just to survive, but to thrive.
I began to look at the similarities between Bowling Green and Muncie, and it's pretty stunning how similar we are.
Because this is United States America.
Yes.
dream come true, you see?
I met a gentleman, he came here from Bosnia, and he's been here 27 years and now has a very successful business. And he just gave glowing reports of how the people of this city have welcomed him and others.
Jeff Mizell, Bowling Green's city manager, says the city's success comes because of its residents, old and new alike.
The success stories here are numerous. The Bosnians and others have been, entrepreneurs when they get here, and it's been just amazing to sit back and watch them grow their businesses and the success that they've had. And, I can't take credit for it. Really, the city of Bowling Green can't really take full credit for it. Bowling Green is still a big, small town, and we support each other.
Let's read it. Honey, nut, Cheerios.
2010 to 2020, Bowling Green grew by 25%. It was 24.5% in population. And we think a lot of that was the immigration and the refugees coming here, liking it here, bringing their families here to join up with them and live here.
Nima, I'm gonna let you count it for us.
We feel like we created a friendly environment, a comfortable environment for them to make their home here.
The chance to build a better life for the next generation is taking concrete hold with families like the Simics. Jake and Ella Simic left Bosnia to escape the war, and they're building a legacy in their new home country. The Simic's daughter, Lori Simic Isaacs, and her husband, along with Jake and Ella, run La Gala, an event center in downtown Bowling Green.
They grew up in Bosnia together, living normal lives up until the war, and then everything kind of changed after that. And then they ultimately just had to make the decision, what's best for them, what's best for the family in general. So they had decided that they needed to move out.
For many refugees, the transition from a war-torn homeland to a new country was anything but easy.
When they came over, I was just born like a month later. All she knew was the word push that the doctor was telling her. That was it. She said she didn't understand anything else except that.
Lori's dad, Jake, found work at a factory, then went into the restaurant business. And in 2013, he transitioned the family interest to the event center La Gala. That adaptability, work ethic, commitment to their community has shaped who Lori has become.
My parents built such a good foundation for where we are now and for Bowling Green as a community. Like, I see it every day. People that I meet, people that come in here and try to book parties, especially with my dad. He was kind of the main person when it came to the business side, and the older I get, the more I realize I'm a lot like him, just very business-like, and I like to work, and it's hard to pinpoint just like one specific situation, but I see it every single day, especially with people that I meet and they come up to me and they're like, you all don't realize like how amazing your parents are. They built a life for us that I will never be able to thank them enough for. The things that we've gone through, the things that they've gone through moving here, like I will never, ever be able to thank them enough for the decisions that they made, for all the stuff that they had to go through, and us along the way with all that. They'll know. My grandkids, my great-grandkids will know about them forever.
We had the International Center here that's played a big role in helping refugees, immigrants come here and, get used to our way of life. They help them get jobs, they'll pick them up at the airport.
Thank you.
Get their kids enrolled in our school systems, which our school systems are excellent.
Morning, Jackson.
Inside Bowling Green's public schools, 55 languages are spoken. At the district's Dishman McGinnis Elementary School, new students arrive almost daily, and students come in speaking everything from Swahili to Mandarin to Pashto.
Celebrating everybody's culture. That's a big part of what does diversity look like. The fact that you're from the Congo, you're from Guatemala, you're from wherever, we celebrate that. We want you to bring your culture here. And at the same time, this is our culture. So we want to celebrate both sides of that coin. We've had a lot of parents that come and say, we want your child to learn English. And we have to tell them, yes, we 100% want them to learn English. But at the same time, we want them to keep that culture as well. So we have cultural diversity nights where we celebrate, this is your country, tell us about you. We have 22 languages spoken here at Dishman. So when I say diversity, there's a lot of diversity.
Respect for what families bring to share and what families hope to learn is a cornerstone to making the school excel.
And so we're going to help them not be so nervous. You start with the relationship and you really show lots of love. That's the beginning. Because until they know that you care about them as a person, you're not going to get them to learn. I want you to try to come up with some other adjectives. Safety is a big thing. We have lots of refugee kids that have been through such trauma that they need to know they're loved and that they're safe here. Takes a little while, but for the most part, kids are very quick to learn the language because they want to know what their peers are saying. Kids learn very quickly.
Kelsar Popal Zai's family is now all safe in Bowling Green after her father was this summer able to leave Afghanistan and join Kelsar and her mom and little brother, who've been in the States for nearly 2 years. Kelsar and her brother are adjusting nicely to their new school routine.
My favorite teacher is Miss All because I like learning about science and she's kind.
Even as a second grader, Kelsar is looking toward her future.
Learning about planets is my most favorite thing about science. My favorite planet, I like them all, but I like Jupiter the most. Is my favorite because it's the biggest one, but the worst thing about Jupiter is it has no surface. The school is nice and big, and I found lots of new friends. I don't really miss home because I want my family to come here because there's Taliban around in Afghanistan and they're bad people.
The parents want the best for their children, and they come here to the United States because they want a better life.
The life for those newcomers built in the United States isn't without struggle. Immigrants balance the pressure of a new language, new traditions, and a new culture with the responsibilities and sometimes the heartache they carry from their home countries. Daniel Tarnagda left Africa in 2013, where jobs and opportunity were limited. He came to the States ready to do whatever was needed to succeed. That attitude helped him evolve from an entry-level position in the service industry to running a nonprofit that works in partnership with a school district. And it's given him unique perspective on immigration.
So as a first boy in the house, you have to provide for family. And then I need a job. I was just eager to work. So we found a place at Olive Garden. And they said, we have only one job, and it is dishwasher. So she translated that to me. I said, no problem, gave it to me, I want it. I'm telling you, the first day I went to work, if you see me, I had my suit on, I had a tie, my shoes were so shiny. It looked like you can see the big boss coming in. Everybody thought this is the next manager coming in. They were just shaking my hand, telling me, hey, hey. So I went and take my coat off, put it in the closet, and I started working. One of the best jobs I ever had in the US. Coming from a country who you have every day, you don't know what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, and what you're going to drink. And you come here, you turn on a faucet, and there's water coming out. It's like a fountain. You just come out, clean water. You don't have to walk miles. And you go to the grocery store, you know Walmart, they got everything you can buy. And you see one family that live here, it's not just one family. There's hundreds of other families back home that wait for them, for their help. or they're asking for their help. With sense of pride, being able to say, okay, I made it. I am able to take care of my people. I'm able to take care of my family. That is the most blessing you can ever give to someone.
That idea of giving and receiving blessings resonates with Tahir and Amira Zukic, who lost loved ones and their homeland to the war and genocide that happened in their native Bosnia during the 1990s.
When war started from Bosnia, we went to Germany because it was scary to stay in Bosnia. I was very afraid. We couldn't get a permanent visa in Germany. And when we heard about program that America is taking Bosnian refugees, we actually applied several times.
Eventually, the family was granted access to the States, and they wound up in Bowling Green, which had welcomed dozens of Bosnian families before them. Those early days, though, weren't easy.
This is really hard time for me. And I just try to figure out how I'm gonna doing here. Can I survive here? Well, in few months when I start working, I think I'm not gonna make it here. I cannot make enough money to support family, to buy Pampers for the kids. You know, I have 2 kids home at this time, and I think, man, that's not good for me. I cannot make it here. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
The answer to the making it question came in the form of a long-haul trucker's license that would ultimately change the families forever.
My parents opened this company in 2004 with 1 truck. We began our operations that year, bought our 2nd truck that year in 2004. I was not in operations at that time. I was only 5.
Today, the company has more than 150 trucks and is a source of pride, not only for the family, but for the city too.
They're never gonna sit on their laurels and kind of, count their blessings. They're always 2 steps ahead of the curve and always working harder than that next person. My mother's father was executed as part of the Srebrenica genocide. They didn't find his body until 2005, when he was finally, laid to rest in the Srebrenica genocide memorial up in Srebrenica. Both of my parents went through this. They escaped a genocide. They immigrated to America. They lived in Section 8 housing, living off food stamps for the first couple years of my life, working in a factory, breaking their backs. So yeah, it's literally ingrained in my blood, and I'm a grinder, I'm a fighter. I'll never take a loss as, a loss. I'll see how I can improve upon it and, take it as a lesson.
Many of them were born and raised in refugee camps. 50! Good job. I just feel compassion for them. I just think that it's very brave of them to want to come here and make a better life for themselves.
That hope for a better life extends to those families settling in Muncie, where conversations continue about if and how the city will move forward.
We're having a lot of follow-on immigration as a result of the atmosphere and the welcome they're getting in Muncie, Indiana.
A saucepan is just a regular pan.
The Welcome Family program that we have incorporated into our fabric. And just the general accessibility, affordability, the things that are here in Muncie, they're feeling accepted and more people are wanting to come.
Below are words for appliances and utensils. Utensils are things like spoons.
We've seen a lot of international companies who are choosing Indiana and Muncie. We've had an Italian company opened up a North American headquarters. A Polish company is opening up a large manufacturing facility. All of those bring different mindsets. Many of them bring people over from their particular countries, which create those, they're not necessarily refugees, but they're certainly immigrants.
Sabrina and Mateus Camargo and their boys are just one family who came to Muncie, not as refugees, but as newcomers who wanted new opportunities for their children.
I started to make some courses to be prepared to come here. Then I applied for one position here for the company here in Muncie. Then I was accepted. I was approved in this process. Between our my approval and our trip to here is very fast. Something about 3 months. It's important to the people understand that there are a lot of different reasons that bring people from other countries to here or for other places. There are a lot of people with different histories. For example, in my case, the job opportunity, but we have a lot of different reasons. And understand that we can, people that come from other countries can help the people here with a lot of different things as well, with food or with different sports or different knowledges, different experience.
So we left our house, our home, our country, and we are learning. But always you can meet someone from another country, you can learn something. Even a little thing you can learn. Always you can learn something. So here we are learning, but we think and we know the people here are learning something with us too.
Like the Camargo family, Cristina Castanedas and her husband, Rogelio Robles, came to Muncie for career opportunities and to give their daughters a chance for new cultural experiences.
They can experience Mexico and they can experience US. I think that's
And I think at the end, I think is get the best for each culture and take the best part for each of them.
The couple want their girls to soak up all they can from their experience in the States, but they hope the family can share and give back to their adopted city too.
Each culture can add more to the culture here in the city. I think if you have people coming from other countries, this city will be more attractive for more people, right? So if you can bring more people, different areas, different countries, it's kind of you open the options and possibility and more variety on everything, right?
Both families say they're glad they're getting a chance to try life in a new way.
Here is very friendly. They are ready to help. They like to talk. They like to make jokes.
We have a neighbor.
I like it.
We have a neighbor here that he help us to cut our grass.
I like to be in a small city and have this calm and the silence.
The peace, they say, brings new opportunities to explore and to reflect.
We try to talk with them and explain and try to make them understand that the world is a very big place, and it's possible to do lots of different things.
When you meet us, we can learn something about our country too, if you want. I don't know how to say the things the better way with the better English, but in my country, I was a complete person, and slowly I can be a complete person here too, and have this exchange. I would like they could be everything they want. I would like they can do what they like to do. The world is a big place and they can do everything they want and go to everywhere they want to. family or humans, at the end, everybody looks for the same kind of things. Everybody wants to be like happy, everybody wants to be safe, everybody wants to be like their kids raised in a good way, in a good environment. So I think that those kind of things are common for any culture. It doesn't matter where is your culture, your country, you are looking for the same things.
Jobs, education, safety, compassion, freedom. Whether your family's been here for generations or arrived only yesterday, we all want the same things. Opportunities for our children, a chance at something greater. It's the pursuit of happiness our founders spoke of so many years ago. And with hard work, courage, and a little luck, we can build that something that's bigger than ourselves. Because deep down, we all believe in possibility. We all believe in hope.